South Carolina travels to Kentucky. South Carolina did not look very impressive last weekend, at least offensively, right? They were able to run the ball effectively. Lenore Sellers was not necessarily everything that I dreamed of that he would be. But it's not over.
Yeah,
It was week one, right? There's still a long ways to go. And uh, holy cow. I mean, Kyle Kennard, Dylan Stewart. I mean, how good were those guys
jeez,
coming off
Dylan
the edge?
Stewart is awesome. I know he's getting a ton of hype right now on Twitter and all that, but damn man, I cannot help but just
Yeah.
right.
Well,
I
when I
mean,
was saying on this show that this defensive line is really good, like, we're not kidding. I don't know that I expected Dylan Stewart to be that good. I really didn't. But yeah, this defense is good, right? And for a guy like Brock Vandegrift, who played fine, did enough. They didn't really have to do that much in their week one matchup with Southern Miss. Defensively, Kentucky also looked good too. Like, these are two teams that are very, very good defensively, and that line is it's 10 points, right? 10. That's a lot of points for two teams that are really defensive teams, and your over under you're looking at is 42.5. That's an implied what is that, 25 or 27-17 or 26-16? That's what that is. Um, it's a very, very interesting game. So when I'm looking at this, I think Kentucky's a really good football team. But I worry about both quarterbacks in this game. I'm gonna take Kentucky to win, South Carolina to cover, +10. I think Kentucky at home, that benefits them a ton. I think Brock Vandegrift can maybe do enough, but I also think that this South Carolina defense is ferocious and really talented. And I don't think people know that yet. Maybe they're starting to realize that looking at Dylan Stewart highlights on Twitter. But I mean, so is Kentucky's defense, obviously. Like, it's really like we were both, or in terms of season long bets, I have both South Carolina's and Kentucky's over on the win total. I think in large part because of their defenses, and I was kind of betting on their quarterbacks showing improvement in the offense. I don't know that Lenore Sellers is necessarily better, or I didn't think Lenore Sellers was going to necessarily be better than Spencer Rattler, but I had a feeling that offensive line was going to be better. For Kentucky, I had a feeling that Brock Vandegrift was going to be better than whatever they sent out last year with Devin Leary, or the ghost of Devin Leary. I should probably say so. Yeah, I'll take Kentucky to win, South Carolina to cover.
yeah, I'm gonna go Kentucky to win, but Kentucky to cover as well. I just think the matchup here, I do worry with South Carolina running the football on the road against this defensive front that is Kentucky. I mean, Southern Miss didn't even try to run the ball. I know it was canceled short because of whatever, and Kentucky kind of jumped on them, but you've got Jamon Dumas Johnson right there, a linebacker who's really, really good. Keyshawn Silver, I thought, is finally making some plays. Obviously, Deion Walker and JJ Weaver are really, really good as well. Yeah, if you stop South Carolina's rushing attack, I think you're going to have a good chance to win and potentially win big. And that's what I see happening here. Although, I mean, Sanders and Sellers, it's a fun duo, man. It's a fun duo. But they struggled last week. And I'm not going to overreact, obviously. We don't do that here. We would never overreact.
We would never do such a thing.
However, I do think some of that is worth noting in terms of being able to put the ball in Lenore Sellers' hands and make you beat him, make you beat you. I don't know. I don't know. I do think South Carolina is going to stop. I'd almost rather take the under in this game than pick, one of the teams to cover. And there's Matthew smiling at the camera. You know what that means. That gives me some good stuff, but I thought Vanderbilt looked fine. He bounced back after an early interception. I like the trio that is Macklin, Key, and Brown. I think those guys bring different body types, different, catch radiuses, different run to the catch stuff. I really like the matchups that they can bring. And I'm excited to see Kentucky, utilize the best out of them. And it was nice to see Barry and Brown get 2 touchdowns last week. I did have him in fantasy draft. Don't forget that. That was great to see. Obviously, only at 28 yards, but they got him a bunch of touches, right? 7 touches, 2 touchdowns. That's a great, great numbers for you as a Kentucky fan.
Yeah. You love to see that. Yeah, I really like this under. Not to spoil anything for the best bets of the week, but there's a 43 out there. Just gonna say that.
Yeah.
If you do want to take the under,
This is one of those games that is first 20. The first of 20 wins this football game.
correct.
And I think it'll be Kentucky. That's
Yeah,
crazy though. It's a big line. It does worry me. I just think like I could see South Carolina like almost getting blanked here, but I could also see them running the football well, and going into Lexington and getting the win. But if you had if you had to tell me make me choose one, I'll just take Kentucky to win and to cover at home.